What's up, everybody? I'm Anthony.
I'm Joe.
And we're the Meeple People. Today, we're checking out Clank in Space. Essentially, it's a sequel to Clank. Clank came out last year. Very successful deck builder, mainly because it had a dungeon crawl aspect. This time, instead of crawling in a dungeon, you're going to be on a spaceship. Basically, the point of the game is to take your character, who is either this pointy devil guy, this short circuit looking orange dude, or one of the slightly normal looking blue or white guys, and you're going to traverse through this spaceship. And you're going to have to get past these blockades, and by doing that, you're going to have to land on on two of these spaces. Whenever you land on one of those spaces, you're going to put one of these somewhat clear cubes on. When you put two of them on, you're going to be granted access to this side of the board. You're going to steal an artifact off of this spaceship. I would go for this one, mainly because it looks like the Infinity Gauntlet, and I'm biased. After you take that, you're going to go, maybe you might hop on this conveyor belt, take a little shortcut, doopy-doopy-doo, and you're going to hop in on one of these escape pods, and escape with your artifact. And each player is going to do so, and whoever has the most points, being the points that you can collect during the game, artifacts and other things you might find, is the winner. So right now, we're going to go through a little quick how the game is played. So, Joe, you want to talk about the starting deck?
Sure. Alright, so in this game, we don't use dice, we use cards to move through the game board. So what we have here is an access card. And it gives you one movement throughout the game. Then this one is a scramble. It gives you one skill, which is currency to buy other cards in the line, and gives you one movement. Then there are 6 hacks in this game. Each one gives you a skill. And then there are 2 stumble, which gives you clank. So what clank does is you take this from the pile and you put this into this pool right here. So the next phase, if Anthony wants to tell us how that works.
Alright, so how a turn goes in this game is that you're going to draw 5 cards from your deck. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to look at my hand. We have 1 stumble, 1 hack, 1 scramble. Move these out of the way for you guys. 1 access, and 1 more hack. So right off the bat, we have 1 clank. So I'm going to take one of my pretty purple cubes and put him over here. Now, we have 2 movement and 3 skill. So with skill, there are 2 rows of cards in this game that you can buy from. Right here we have the ever-changing row. As soon as you buy something at the end of the turn, it gets replaced. The cost of the card is in the bottom right. So this would be 3 skill, this is 2 skill, this is 1 damage. We don't start with cards that do damage, but you can eventually buy them. 6 skill, 4 skill. Now, if we pan over this way, we have the goblin who stays here forever. You just beat him up as much as you want, and whenever you beat him, you get 1 credit. Memory core just gives you points at the end of the game. Boldly Go is basically a better scramble. It gives you 2 skill and still 1 movement. And then Phaser. Phaser gives you 1 skill and 2 attack. Attack is used to defeat monsters that are in the line. Now, with the cards I had in my starting hand, I'm going to buy something. So this modifies attack, and since we don't start with attack, it's going to be really cool to use it. So as you see, it gives you 1 attack and 1 skill, and if you have cards of this faction, which is another thing in the game that you guys are going to find out for yourselves when you play, it'll give you 2 more attack. So we're going to purchase this, put it in our discard pile. If we have 2 movement left, I'm going to take my pretty purple devil guy, and we're going to go 1, 2. Now, at the end of each turn, you refresh the line. So Joe, if you want to refresh the line for us?
Surely. Uh-oh, that's not good.
No, this is not good. This over here is the boss symbol. When the boss symbol is revealed, Joe?
You take this baggie, and you take all the clank that's in this pool, and throw it into this bag.
Now keep in mind, this bag is already pre-filled with a bunch of black cubes. Black cubes represent blanks, essentially. They basically save you. So, as he's mixing it up, we're going to pan over really quick. Here's the boss track. As you can see, we had a game for 4 players. So, the boss activates. This is how many cubes Joe is going to draw from the bag. So, Joe.
Okay, let's see. So, the first one I'm going to take is a black. So, that's good, but not until the end of the game, because then there'll be, if there's more cubes of your color in this bag, that's more likely going to get picked out of the bag. And then I'm gonna go for 2. Oh, looks like one guy took a damage.
So when you take it, when your cube gets pulled, you take it and you go to the health track. And here's your start, and you put your cube right here. Now, as you take damage, you're gonna go, and eventually you're gonna die. Now, the cool thing about this game is, if you die anywhere outside of this little blue bubble area, you lose, you're done, you're not going to score any points, and no one cares about you. If you die here, people can save you. And by people, we mean people that are on the ship that we don't see. Just a cool little story thing, I guess. And basically, any cards that you have in your deck or artifacts that you had stolen during the game, you will score those points eventually. You just will not get the benefit of getting into a drop pod. So, essentially, that's how Clank in Space works. You're renegade aliens that have went upon the ship, going through it, finding little treasures throughout, but mainly going after these big treasures at the very back of the ship. Progressively, it gets harder as the boss gets, as boss icons get revealed, because as you can see, this is a huge track. Every time he gets revealed, he's going to climb until you're pulling 5 cubes out and putting bounty hunters in there. Whenever you pull a bounty hunter, everyone takes damage because
it can get real chaotic.
Yeah, you don't want to have fun. Who wants to have fun, right?
Remember, guys, by the time you get there, already almost half of the black cubes are already taken out. So that means you're getting most of the bounty hunters and your health.
You're going to get hit almost every time. So, Joe, you're a huge fan of the first Clank.
Yes, I am.
You might even say it's your favorite game of all time.
I'll have to say so. I like the mechanic of not always having to play a game where you have to roll dice. So being able to build a deck.
No one likes dice.
Because
there's even a game company called Dice Hate Me Games because no one likes dice.
Sounds like most games I play, especially miniatures. I can never hit crits. So
nope,
I got lucky once, but yeah, that's 1 in a million I'll ever get that.
So
lucky.
if you 1 to 10, what do you give this game?
Compared to the original, I would have to say, a 9. I mean, I like the theme. And I like that it actually is, I would say, a lot harder than the original because there's a lot more elements added to the game.
There's a lot.
And this board is the easy side. There's another side of this board that's 10 times harder, and we haven't even tried that yet.
Yep, exactly. I'm going to give this a solid 8. The reason I'm saying 8, gameplay-wise, fantastic game. I'm giving it an 8 not because of the design of the game. I'm giving it an 8 because of the packaging of the game.
Yeah.
So, if you want to zoom in here really quick, see this little nub right here. There's like little scratches and cracks. That's because
little wrinkle right here. This is pretty much a puzzle board.
Yeah. So these didn't come pre-packaged in the box. They weren't in shrink wrap, and basically, aside from these 2 big tiles that are on each end, these were sliding around all willy-nilly in the box during shipping. So, if you're really anal like me and it comes to your stuff getting like moderately down, like obviously over time there's going to be wear and tear in a board game.
Yeah.
Straight out the box, you don't want to see that stuff. Other than that, Renegade never disappoints. We're a huge fan of them.
Definitely.
Yeah, solid 8. Definitely better than the original Clank. Even better than the expansion of the original Clank, because even the underwater stuff is fantastic. Even though I'm terrified of the ocean, this is so much better, especially with the bounty hunters. And there's a bunch of other stuff that goes on in this game that you guys are going to find out when you play. Just a lot to get into. But
to be honest, do yourself a favor and just pick up all the Clank games, because they're all solid. You'll have a blast playing them over and over, as we do. So
it's a great it's a great change in pace to have a dungeon crawler mixed up with a deck builder. It's two things that you didn't think you would see together, and they complement each other very well. So
definitely
go pick up Clank in Space. It's out now. It was a huge hit at Gen Con. It actually got us all really mad because we couldn't get copies of it. We just see people carrying them all around.
They were all gone.
Oh, okay, thanks.
And we were like, oh, wait, there's a new Clank game coming out? That's not an expansion, it's a whole new game on its own. Why don't we all have a copy? And then we're like, oh, they're all gone already.
Yeah, but me, personally, I was too focused on getting photosynthesis. But that's another story for another day.
Yeah.
Pick up Clank. Great game. Renegade. You guys are amazing. We're the Meeple People. I'm Anthony.
I'm Joe. How's it going, guys?
See ya.